This is one video I'm not looking forward to making. You guessed it, I've got the dreaded roof leak. So when I was driving last night, I noticed my shoulder was soaking and it was all being dumped into the seatbelt area here. And where it's coming from, when I looked a bit closely, it's in there. I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it very clearly, but it's coming from up there. And when you accelerate, go around corners, it basically dumps like a waterfall all down here, all down this area. And there's also instances, that didn't happen on my car, but obviously it's quite a common problem as well. When you brake, it comes through this area. It basically dumps like a waterfall from there. Right, the problem, as we all know, is the upper window seal outside. It's a very common problem. So after many years wear and tear, the seal, the factory seal beneath this cover here, basically it's wear and tear, and it lets water in from this gap at the top. As you can see, you can't really see much of a problem, but basically water seeps in from this gap, collects in the voids within under this panel, and then that void is actually open to the inside and it dumps water through. It's really a bad design, to be honest. The easy fix that most people do is to run the sealant along this line here all the way to the front. But that's only a temporary solution. There's reports that after a year or so it starts leaking again. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to attempt to take this panel off and then rebond it and put it back on. It's not a job for the faint-hearted, because if you break this panel, and these panels are really fragile, they do crack when you're trying to remove them, you can't order them from Mercedes. You have to order a new roof. There are roof specialists out there which will fix it for you for quite a lot amount of money, but I'm not going to go for that option. I'm going to give it a go myself, and I'll show you, hopefully, fingers crossed, a DIY of how to perform this fix without damaging this panel. Tools and consumables for the job. You need a Stanley knife, preferably get some spare blades as well, because you'll need them. Some black sealant, so I've bought this from Toolstation, CT1 black sealant, construction grade. So, and possibly other things, but I won't know until I actually start the job. So this panel is plastic welded on. So at the top leading edge here, there are plastic welding places dotted along the top, and there's about 7 of them. One about here, one there, there, and there. So when you get the knife under there, you'll feel it when it stops, and that's where the plastic weld is, where you've got to try and break with your knife along the top, and then this panel hopefully can then just slide down and unclip. Some trim removal tools as well, with a tapered edge like these, wide and a thin one, so that can be used to insert between this gap and gently lever it up whilst you're trying to break the seal. I've decided to start on this end because that side seems a bit stiff. I don't want to force it. This end, for some reason, I actually managed to break the first clip quite easily. So you can see a slight gap there, which I lifted up from the beginning, and I slid it along with my blade, and you can see my blade there now. I've actually broken the first clip because I heard it crack. The panel's fine, and I just need to carry on all the way down the bottom. So be right back. That's the second clip broken, or release, should I say. So the first one was there, second one was there. You can see the gap now. Can you see the gap? So I've actually managed to slide my blade across. You can feel it when it stops, and then gently just put a little bit of pressure on the blade, not too hard, and it will pop. Now I've got the hang of it, I know what it feels like. The rest should be pretty straightforward. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I got to the last clip eventually. In total, I reckon that's taken me 45 minutes, taking my time. Now I've done it, I probably can do it a bit quicker. The little tip I'll give you, if you want to do this, when you get your blade to the point where the tab is, you'll see it. When you get to it, it will stop. So when you get to that section with the Stanley knife, gently hold it there with one hand, and with your fist gently tap it from the top, and it will slice through it. Not too hard, and then when you'll feel it when you slice through it, it will break, and the clips, look, you can feel it, see it now, the clips are all open. So I've done everything now, and the next step is to lift this cover off and slide it down. So you need to slide it down beneath this rubber because there's like a little V groove there, so the whole thing just slides down. Right, so let's see if we can get this down. So lift up and gently push down. Might need to open the door actually, so that rubber is not pushed against the friction of the rubber. So let's try with the door open. So lift up. I don't want to break it, so I'm just taking it really gently. This side's down, so you have to give it a little nudge and it will come down. So I'm just going to get the rest off now. So I've got to slide it downwards. Come on, there you go. It's coming off. There you go. That's come off. Ta-da! Right, the whole panel's off. And the good news, and the very good news, I've not broken it. Okay, let's see what's under this cover. And that's the source of my leak. There you go there. See that puddle? That's what's been falling on my shoulder. So as you're driving around, that puddle of water sloshes all in this void and it goes through that gap over there. And that gap over there is open to the inside, and that's where it basically dumps it onto your shoulder. And I've got a pile of water there as well, as you can see, and also, not surprisingly, at the front void as well. So when you brake, the water slushes in through that hole there. Right, first things first, let's clear out all the water, dry it out, give it a nice clean, and then we'll figure out what the next step is. So as you can see, the original seal runs all along the top, this rubber seal, down here, all down here, and all along the bottom. Now this is actually, I've just taken some of it off already. It's basically, it's not silicone, it's just a rubber seal. So over the years, this seal gets worn and worn, perish, and then it leaks and then lets in water into this into the void. So I'm going to pull this seal first, pull it off, get the original one off. It's quite easy to come off actually, it just pulls off like this. So I'm going to give that a clean once I get all the seal off. That's some of it there. And then give it all clean, and then the aim is to run my black sealant CT1 along the factory seam here and all the way down. And also I would probably run some sealant on the top line as well to give it double protection right along the top, down here as well, and obviously down here as well. And I'm going to go one extra step, belts and braces approach. I'm going to seal these voids up with sealant. So along here, all down here, little gaps, top and bottom, and that one there. So give it double protection. What I suggest is, before this panel goes on with the sealant, have a few practice goes to getting this cover back on. It is a bit tricky because at the bottom of the plastic you can see there's like a V groove, so it's like a V like this, and that V here needs to slot under this the rubber seal under it and then up. So I've had a few goes of it already, so I'll just show you how it's done. So once you've got all the sealant ready, you line it up like this, so don't actually push it down yet, line it up at the bottom and the sides so it sits kind of in this position, yeah, and then you grab it, hold it about here, and then you need to push down and get the groove up like this. There you go, and that's in. You might have to knock it a bit just to get it to sit in properly. Yeah, that's as far as it will go. I mean, obviously you can see a gap, you can see gaps here, but that's not a problem because that's where I cut. So just hold it down, put some gaffer tape on it overnight for 24 hours, let it dry, and then you should be fine. Right, so I'm going to take it off again now. There you go. First things first, hair dryer time. Let's dry up all the voids. Sealant time. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to seal these voids here, these here, here, and then that void there, and then top and bottom as well. Right, let's crack on. The voids are all sealed up, as you can see. So I put that black CT1 all around there, and all the way down the back as well. Doesn't have to be pretty, because you can't see that anyway, as long as it's sealed. There was a tiny hole there as well that I had to seal as well. So yeah, okay. Let's get on to the other bit now, is to run the silicone and the sealant on the factory line, and then we'll get the cover back on. The sealant's on. Just show you where I've applied it. So I've made double shore, a nice thick coat. I also put a sealant down here as well, and I've put a double sealant line at the top as well, as you can see. The original OEM line plus the bit further up at the top, just to be sure. Right, before it sets, I'm going to get the cover back on. Now, I only have one go at this, so I'm going to make sure I don't make a mess of this. Right, I probably won't be able to show you on camera, so I need two hands, but I'll show you the end result. The end result is here. There you go. That wasn't too bad, since I had about 5 or 6 practice attempts earlier. So I lined it up, as I shown earlier, and it just popped on. No mess, no cleanup, and I'm very happy about that. And the line, as you can see, looks clean. Looks like it's never been done. So it's quite solid already. I've left it there for about 10 minutes. It's not moving, it's nice and solid. I did originally have some tape holding this section down, but I don't think it's needed, because if I push on it, it's not actually going down any further. That's it, that's the end stop. It doesn't need to be compressed any further. And what I don't want to do is put the tape there and compress it too much, so it's putting pressure on the panel here, so that when I release the tape, the compressed rubber here will try and force it up and break the seal. So I want to leave it in a natural state, and that seal doesn't actually seal water going into the cabin, because that rubber seal runs up to about here, and it's got a drain there which drains the water. So that's not a important seal to seal the water for ingress into your cabin, so I'm not worried about that. We'll leave it for 24 hours, and I think the job's done, and time will tell whether that's cured my wet shoulder. Thanks for watching my DIY video tutorial on how to fix our leaky SLK roofs. I hope this video gives you confidence to carry out your own repairs. Please give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel. In that way, you'll get notified of future DIY videos of this nature. Thanks everybody, see you again soon, bye bye.